Again in studio. This time out that information is not important. Probably it's more important that you understand to support other. If we look about the world, that's very abstraction. The world is made from archaeology, education, geography, also some sort of history. But there are also different groups if you are making a forum or a bigger site. If you are having a smaller site, of course, you are going to serve smaller infrastructure and you will have less users. It is very important not to trust your community, but it's better to build your own ethics if you are going to do any of advance in technology. The progress in social being is very little and it don't make any process or any progress usually. The evolution is also stagnating. But of course, if you believe that evolution is possible, then you also believe that it's possible to build a better community or a better site in world or in a city you are living in. After all, you can also look on the world like some sort of village or city and nothing special. The science in world have a lot of problems and also a lot of problems with progress, and it's not easy to think anything about the science. The climate change in world is also not simple and the serious issue and how you approach to that problem it's also important. To build a better forum for the world is not simple, especially if you are making anything related to cars or homes. There must be extreme ethics and a lot of problems occur during those thematics. To build a better government, again, in world it's extremely complex and the technology could not leave the politics, but usually the technology also governs some support for world, so it actually builds some sort of difficult psychology for any type of the governments. The education in governments it's stagnating, and of course the evolution is also in technology, but also the technology a lot of time it's stagnating. The biggest problems are actually ethics and ethics that people have, and the information in society is actually worth zero, especially in finance, because the information actually corrupt the people and the ethics of people, and people think that they can become more and more and more lazy. Actually, the most important forum in life is to think about, is there any progress? Okay, you are going to make some fortune like other rich people in world, but is there also a progress in civilization? Is there also another way to solve some problem? You need to know that all the people that are solving problems, they are looking for more and more solutions, but more and more solutions sometimes are not better. Sometimes book solve everything, and you see there is a lot of problem. Also how different leaders see the ethics or what type of ethics people should have in world. Do not disagree with other people that lead anything, but of course work for them, or if you cannot work with them, you can also check what they are doing and make some difference in your style of leading. The language, of course, in Word is English, and it's extremely complex to change that. Of course, a lot of people also talk German, and a lot of people talk Chinese, and there are a lot of European language that are 100% respected when it comes to me. But it's not easy to figure it out everything if you do not understand English very well. The mental progress with English is actually quite better and much faster if you understand English and the impact on different government forums, even culture or political forums in book or movie or anything related to legal problems or what could solve the technology problem, or the technology better licensing for some area, also health or medicine, and to build more ethical and more simple cities around the world. To have any knowledge, it's not also simple because you can also forget on it, and most of people like to forget the knowledge and just go on a beer or a cup of wine, and they might even see that as part of a culture. And here we have a lot of problems with community, of course, and the geography problems are also unlimited. It's very important to build a simple science if you are in technology, and something healthy. Building a better community that can build millions of problems, and most of people would not like that. That type of development, it's extremely complex and also dangerous if you do not approach in a simple forum with Java or Java migrants or other different type of studio. Every studio have its own license and it's related to some brand, and it's not simple forum of communication with other people or what developers are developing together with the code. To measure different activity of people, it's actually very difficult. If we look from the point of ethics and the point of ethical programming, it is not easy to build better structure, and sometimes you might spend really a lot of effort in building better organization of your company or organization of the brand logo or whatever you are looking to build. To build the different forum of international company, it's again extremely difficult, and those that are in distribution also probably English is the standard in every aspect of the culture or book or movie area. To understand the decisions of people that are not respecting English, it's extreme psychology, and it's not easy to understand the different communities, especially around Europe, but also around America, because not all America talk English. To build some sort of translation between politics and culture, or between the organizations and politics, and how to charge properly for the service you are making for culture or technology, it's not simple. To build a better society, it's 100% extremely difficult. To build different type of relationships, it's not simple because you can also destroy different relationships. So if you are building something with a code, it is not simple. And if you are building something with a stock, it's 100% not simple because that's extreme complex economy related to different social needs and what type of service community needs. And a lot of people have different emotions also about the science or medicine, and extremely complex to relate to people or different community if you are having more service. The theory in economy, it's 100% extreme importance, and 95% economists do not value a theory. That's the problem, and it's not simple or small problem. To having a good theory actually build company and actually build different type of logotypes, and also the studio if you are making one, and of course different form of the system for the service you are going to make and charge for it. You must know, like on the web nothing is for free, and it's 100% very difficult to understand also the California and what the California actually suggests sometime in medicine or in technology, and it's extremely complex, sometimes even insane and without ethics. To build better ethics, it's not simple, and if you are working in medicine, probably you are also working with the drugs and emotions of the people and different type of psychology. To build different type of the service, it's not simple, but sometimes also better to build one service. To have a simple mentality, if you are having more type of information, it's also not easy how to deal with community or social parts of people, which sometimes looks like a movie. And you must apply different type of ethics and different type of psychology for every sector, and also psychology for the code and psychology for political or cultural realm, and the psychology in the technology. So everywhere you are working on something, there is some sort of psychology. Also in the bank, or where people want to become more and more ethical, sometimes the ethical just lose the meaning because people do not work on anything, but they are just more and more and more simple, going on a beer, food, and wine. People that want just money are the most complex, and they expect from their boss to pay them. It is not easy to have the psychology about the boss, because on the end, if you are a boss, you should look on yourself like a standard work day and nothing more. Very complex if religion is involved, because that's very difficult, and maybe difficult with ethics or the overall philosophy. The religions can actually also destroy some parts of business, and that's not a secret. But of course, it's slightly political thematic, and also the bankers looking on religions sometimes difficult or maybe more complicated forums. The freedom of speech in this world is extremely difficult area related to psychology and history, and it's not easy to understand it. Psychology 100% is extremely difficult, if anything related to the guardians. The guardians are not simple, and humans can also have different guardians if you are owner of anything. If you do not own anything, then 100% you have 0% problem with that. And if you own anything, you have 1 million problems, and that's not easy. The discipline about how to navigate people, it's also not simple, especially if that is medicine. Probably you just give people the tools and they'll decide for themselves what is the best. Of course, the voice, noise, or advice can also be a tool, and it's not stupid to think in a way that we need more and more and more tools. Maybe we just need better voice. Maybe we just need a better film. Maybe we just need better advice. It's psychology about emotions and different type of sectors, and also how to build ethical code and ethical think tool in a different forms of USA or EU. It is not easy to understand apps or apps activity, and also not easy to understand patenting in medicine technology and apps and software on 100%. That is difficult. Different type of administrations are also related to coding for around 5%, and not to forget coding, because it's actually necessary if related to technology. The structure of coding is extremely difficult and probably internationally recognized. The programming production, it's not simple, and it's made from different standards. Standards apply especially in software, where also 1 million of ethics apply if micro ends. The discipline together with the code, it's not simple for community, and probably there also the coding under 25. For my structure, 25 plus would be the best if you are coding, and it is the best to build simple community or the simple service and nothing extremely complex. There are different buttons in apps and different type of how people like each other, but it's extremely complex to understand what is behind that and what's in the code. There is some sort of disability in society, also how society understand the code and different type of needs that people have to the applications. The people needs are very difficult and also difficult to observe. Every area in world have different needs and their need biology sometime, and that's extremely diverse and complex. My structure will is going on without any type of biology and also limited science. Archaeology is extreme complex and related to history and book and film and is extremely difficult. Economics are 100% related to book and are extremely difficult. To understand the law of United States of America, it's extremely difficult. Unless you are a lawyer, then it becomes more and more simple. In EU, also not simple any type of law, but also if you are coding, that become more and more simple, and you can think about law of the code. Psychology on that area, it's not simple, and especially not to trust sociology too much or society if you are coding, and probably you can build better community with just coding itself. The different forms of coding can go together with the administrations, but of course, administration must pay for the code. For all people that are more serious, also recommending Java microends and extra ethics applied to your life and the simple ledgers.